kick in the pants!
As a new guy entering into this hobby, I'll be focusing more on the exploration part of adventure versus the technically challenging trail riding. I spent a lot of time up front, as usual, determining the most important things I wanted and needed in an adventure helmet. And those things were a shield instead of goggles, a solid visor that would be stable at highway speeds, internal sunglasses, a Pinlock option, communications option, and last but not least, it needs to look good. One of the first things that happened when riding my adventure bike with an old Bell helmet and goggles is that I got hit by a bug right in the face, and right below the goggles it did not feel too good. It was at that moment that I determined that I was going to have a shield and not goggles. Well, the first thing here is to say that I think I'd look pretty silly wearing a street helmet on a CRF 250L. If I'm going to have a visor on a helmet and be riding it on the street at highway speeds, it's got to mount really solid, and so that's really important. One of the things that I noticed about this visor is that it has solid mounts on it, and I didn't notice any kind of funny instabilities or buffeting, that kind of stuff while riding it, so I like that part of it. The other thing I liked about it is the visor has an extendable end on it that let me pull it out there and get more shade as needed. Ideally, my preference would be to run a transition shield. That's what I have on one of my other helmets. I knew that I wanted to have something that was going to be able to handle going out during the day when it was bright out, and yet if I get caught late and it gets dark, I need to be able to have a clear shield on. So I like the fact that to me a helmet needed to have the clear shield with an option to have the built-in sunglasses. I do not want to deal with putting sunglasses on underneath in my helmet. So sticking with the shield theme here, one of the things that I can say is that if you've ever tried a Pinlock out in one of your other helmets, you're gonna want a Pinlock in everything that you wear the rest of your life. It is so nice to be able to go out and you fog in the morning, it gets cooler in the evening, you fog in the evening, even during the day you can, just depending on what the weather's like when you're out. But if you don't want to have fogging problems, get a Pinlock system. It's worth the money. The first time that everybody else is fogging up around you and you're not because you're wearing a Pinlock, you'll find out right then it was worth the money. I haven't had a communications in a helmet since the old days of the big old chatterboxes hanging off the side of the helmet. And I knew that with the X.WED2, it allowed you to have an integrated built-in comm system with their XCOM system, and it's built by Sena. And I decided that at this time, it's just a good time for me to get back into the communications thing. I'll be able to communicate with other riders when we're out trail stuff. I'm able to use it at the track. We have tested it now at the track while my wife is riding the Grom, and I'm riding around on the R3. If I come up on her, I'm able to say I'm coming up on your left side or on your right side, and she doesn't have to kind of guess. When you're a new rider on a track, you're kind of trying to think about other things, just looking ahead and not having surprises. So it's just another thing that makes it easier for her. But having a comm system is once you have them, again, it's another option that's nice to have. I should note that as one of the main blocks when you're picking a helmet, one of the things that everybody's going to say is important to them is comfort. And of course, comfort is one of those things that we all know that we want in a helmet. Again, I have experience with NEXX helmets. I knew that they had good quality on par with helmets like Shui and Arai, so that was something that was a given to me going into this. You've already seen a lot of shots of this helmet, whether on the rotisserie or on while I'm riding, to get an idea of whether you think it's going to work for you in the looks department. To me, when I looked at them all and compared this helmet to everything out there, I number one would have picked it as my favorite for looks. So it scored high for looks right off the bat.
Okay, so this is my first time riding and recording like a regular vlogger type guy would do. Do the old extended visor there. Yeah, I haven't taken the extended visor out yet and got it at speed, so we'll see how that does. So right now I've got the XCOM connected Bluetooth to my phone, and I have a Bluetooth voice recorder on, and I'm recording while I'm recording the sound onto my phone so I can then mix it later. And I've got my video on the front, 360 fly. Doing 40 miles an hour right now, so it gives you an idea of what the wind is like while you're talking. I'm noticing that the helmet is still nice and quiet. I rode over here with the music on, and that is so cool. It's going to be neat to have that experience to listen to music while I'm riding. Usually I just use earplugs. Figures the time that I want to go see what this helmet does when you got some speed going, and there's a couple of grandma and grandpa looking old. I guess I'm a grandpa, so whatever. Okay, so here we are at I'll wait until I get past this sign here. Here I am at 55. I keep going for another gear on this 250. Well, that's it. Okay, I'm at 66 miles an hour right now, which would be basically kind of cruising speed. I don't know what the car is behind me, so I don't think I'm going to press my luck too much here. There's 70. Okay, so this would be my normal cruising speed out talking to other people, and it'll be interesting to see what this is like with intercoms at this speed. I'll know, obviously, when I play the voice back how well it did for me. Now, one of the things I want you to notice there is that I'm right around 70 miles an hour turning my helmet back and forth, and I get no wind buffeting at all. I've got the visor pulled all the way out, and the helmet just feels right on the money. Nothing funny at all. Even lifting it up like that, it's not like it pulled my helmet back like a parachute. The wind blows right through the underneath part of this visor really well. And you cannot even compare in any way this helmet to the Bell that I was riding before, or wearing before. But then that helmet I was wearing before is a dirt helmet with just a regular visor. And you know, I don't know, it's like 5 years old. I don't know how much wind technology has changed since then. Wow, I can't believe the difference that a good helmet makes. I mean, you know that, of course. It's not like I'm new to riding, so it's not like I don't know that a good helmet makes a lot of difference. But wow, this makes the experience so nice. I hate this time of year where you're out riding and farmers got their sprinklers on, putting water across the road, and you go riding through it. Especially it makes it worse when you're riding through a sprinkler and the farmer's putting crap through his sprinkler. He's fertilizing whatever, cow poop or pee or whatever is in there. It's coming out brown. You go riding through it, it's like put poop all over your bike. Man, that sucks. Motorcycles really put you up to having to deal with a lot of stuff when you go ride. You wind up, eventually you ride long enough in your life you're going to eat a bug. A bug's going to go inside your mouth, and you got to decide whether you're going to swallow or what you're doing. And anyway, yeah, I've had a couple bugs in my life. Well, I'm really impressed. This helmet is amazing. I don't know. I might have to say that this is my favorite NEXX helmet now. I mean, got a big old drawer full of them, but cabinet full of them. But yeah, this thing is nice. I'm getting a lot of crosswind right now, so this is a really good test to see how the helmet's doing and how the you know, the bike's just blowing all over the place. Take a little 250 and put it out on the road, it pretty much takes you everywhere. The nice part about riding a big motorcycle is the heavier the bike is, the less you get blown around when you're out riding on it. It makes for a real pleasing ride on a big bike when you're on the road. Smaller bikes, that's something I don't know. I'd be interesting to find out what Chris's Ducati Desert is doing. I mean, that thing's more of a, it leans more towards street. This bike leans more towards dirt. So I'm sure he has a really great experience on the street. My old stomping ground as a kid, high school I went to. More long, boring straights. It's nice to get to a place, got a corner. Still a weird feeling taking a dual sport around corners. Not used to sitting up this high. But one of the things that I do like about the dual sport is it's got me doing things that, you know, riding, getting a totally different experience in ride. And that's fun. It's one of the things I love about riding that Grom. It's this little bitty bike, but sure is a lot of fun to get on it, just puddle around with it. Okay, so we're right around 50 right now. Coming through a sprinkler on a gravel road. Yeah, the kind of the I was gonna say best of both worlds, right? This is a pretty packed gravel road, so it makes it for riding pretty nice. I do know that it'll be a little different going through a corner here. One of the things I think about a lot when I'm riding a bike, especially I'm doing stuff that I'm not, you know, is new to me or something different, is Mark DeGrasse talked about the idea that, you know, the majority of the time the bike will do what it's supposed to do, and it's the rider that does the wrong thing and makes themselves screw up. So if I just sit back and let the bike ride itself and don't fight it too much, then, you know, better things happen. So the old gravel from pavement. All right, so we've seen the XComs and how it does going normal speeds would be equivalent to highway speeds, and then what it does here in the city running around 35. So well, there you go. You get an idea of what the helmet's like when you're out riding around. You gotta kind of see it in action.
At the end of the day, it hit all of the marks that I had. Everything that I had on the list that I've listed, this helmet had, and I didn't see any other helmet that had all of these things. So there was no competition, but the reality was everything was on that was on my list, this thing already did for me. Well, that's it for the next X.WED2. I'll keep watching the videos and see more with the helmet in action, doing what we're doing this year. And keep watching this the 2020 series called Road to Adventure. And if you guys haven't checked out our previous series on road racing, make sure you do check those out. We got a lot of videos out there. Ton of stuff on the website too for bikes. So check our stuff out. Subscribe. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time.